Welcome back to BoSynch TV and day 2 of Beef 2012. We had 20,000 people through the door yesterday. They've been lining up today and we've got a good cross-section of a heap of people within the beef industry ready for you to take a look at. Enjoy.
Good morning and welcome back to the BoSynch TV studio live from Rockhampton. Well, we've got a very special guest here this morning. We've got Toss, the CEO of Australian New Zealand Rabobank. Good morning, Toss. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure, Robin.
What are those challenges, you think, for the Australian beef production industry and agriculture in Australia?
I think the overriding challenge for producers around the world, including Australia, is actually to start producing more and more to feed the increasing demand for products globally. Australia is in a privileged position to actually cater for a big part of that increased supply. And the challenge actually is how to do that. Of those 4, I think animal health is the one that has gained more in importance over the recent history. Well, I think we have to be conscious about the way we farm and produce food. I think we have to do that in a sustainable way. And I think the financial industry will just have to support that.
John,
Yeah.
welcome down.
One thing we've learnt in Northern Australia is we get to a point where we've got nearly 90% of our cattle going into one area. Is an extraordinarily dangerous situation to get ourselves into.
What about if you could peer into a crystal ball 10 years from now? Will they be similar challenges or a new crop of challenges?
With the partnership we've got with companies like Bayer and BoSynch, we will progress, we will be able to overcome some of those reproduction hurdles that we're up against now. I'm quite confident of that. I think the future challenges will be dealing with things like, if the government can ever work it out, is the carbon issue and climate change and government rules and regulations.
Well, I've got a special guest here. We've just had his father in here earlier, Dan. Now it's his son's turn, Lachlan Lynch. Let's talk a little about your calving percentage, sort of previous seasons until prior to trying the fixed time AI program.
In our commercial Brahman herd, we have consistently got a 74% pregnancy rate. Well, we've come from a commercial breeding background where we've bred a Brahman herd of cows in a 12-month intercalving interval in the north. We're recently going into using fixed time AI to improve some of the genetics in our herd. We're hoping to get up to maybe a reconception rate of 80 to 85% across our herd in a 12-month intercalving interval.
Started off in a pretty humble way with 1,000 acres and a few hundred head of Angus cattle, and my brother and I now run in the vicinity of 150, 160,000 head of cattle spread over 4 million acres in central and western Queensland and the lower Gulf country. Yeah, we see a great future for this industry. It just needs some better management.
How about the fact that the price per kilo hasn't changed in 20 years?
Well, that's as it is. You know, what other industry could sustain the same price today as they got 20 years ago? The only reason I sit here now, and a lot of my mates out in this industry and a lot of other producers, is because we've had the ability to increase our productivity at a dramatic rate over the last 20 years. If we hadn't had those productivity gains, we wouldn't be sitting here now.
Would you consider genetics to be one of the most critical areas for the future benefit of the Australian cattle industry?
We can put an extra 20 kilos on every beast we produce without any extra cost. Well, then that's a step in the right direction. But you can only do so much with so much money, and this industry has been starved of funds for about 10 to 15 years.
I've got Joe here from the Gulf and Carpentaria. Joe, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much. The property name is Delta Downs. We go as more partial company, and we have 1 million acres, run approximately 35 to 47,000 head of cattle.
I understand, we were talking a little bit before off camera, that you do a lot of hard work with the local community.
There's always a word saying that you can't do it. Well, you know, if you do put your mind to it, you can. We're not only just Indigenous grazers saying that we're better or anything like that. We're all equal, and we're all there to run a business and trying to make it run as profitable as we all can.
I'm here with a very, very special guest, Peter from the CEO of the Angus Society. Peter, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. I view the Angus Society as an innovation company. A lot of our members widely use artificial breeding, artificial insemination. So, for example, of all of the registered calves every year born in Australia, over half of them are actually born by artificial breeding, artificial insemination. We at Angus Australia, we're not reproduction experts, we're more focused on the genetics, but we are using AI programs as part of some of our research. So to do that, we use a fixed time AI program in some commercial cooperator herds. We budgeted on getting about 50% conception for a single fixed time AI program, and in fact we've exceeded that budgeted number of calves.
Mate, thanks again. Enjoy your week here at Rockhampton.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Peter. Cheers.